Hello there. Hi, how are you? We have a lot to cover. So a couple of things I wanted to start off with. First of all, welcome to the AMP sessions. And this is the broadcast, the Google Hangout for people that are on AMP and the AMP membership program. We're going to dive into that very quickly. Follow along. One or this is just about the module into February. Later on, we are thinking about for 1 month. To questions, and all you have to do is reply to the mail that I'm giving you. If you have any questions, you can also reach out directly if you have a question. On the tab, we're going to go over and you can I'll show you how you can contact me or my team if you have questions about the sessions. Now, this is a really cool month. We're actually going into what I call the upgrade series. So we're presents, and there's also some really special paid members here on the site. They're actually checking it out for the first time, so welcome. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to screen share, and we're going to jump on the AMP membership site together. Okay, so let's go ahead and find that. There we go. Okay, so here is the AMP membership website. This is what you see when you log in. On the lower left-hand bottom, you will find that there is a video here, and this will also kind of give you the tour of how to navigate through all of it. As you can see on the upper right where the AMP sessions, it's going to be populated by each week. So right now we're on week 1 in February. But you will find as the month goes on, you will see that there will be 4 weeks in this box. There's always 4 weeks in every month. Even if we have that extra week, we only do 4 weeks of AMP sessions. So let's get started. We're on the home page right now. We're going to go through core sessions. Core sessions is essentially all of the previous sessions that happened in the year. You will see that the last December is still up. I left that up for you guys if you wanted to check out any of the cool modules, especially this one. Reimagine Your Business is a really cool PDF that you can fill out yourself and hone in on what you desire in your business and in your lifestyle, which is a really cool thing to start off with. In fact, we're running our first AMP. It's a first meetup that I have. It's called Women Who AMP, and it's in Auckland, New Zealand. So I'm really excited to meet up with those women here and start a community in New Zealand, which is pretty exciting. So what they're doing now is they're actually filling out this PDF. And this PDF is a really great place to start if you're not really sure on how you're going to navigate through the year. I do this process every year for myself, and it really helps me focus on what's important to me, what's important in my business, what will actually support me and my lifestyle, what I choose I want to do. And this is a female-driven sort of new thought, is we've always wanted to have a business that tailors to us, that, if we have a lifestyle that we want to pursue, if we wanted to be able to stretch ourselves out as women do, we're able to do it in a very tailored way that fits our lifestyle. So this is a celebration of that. You don't have to be a woman to fill this out, obviously. You can be a guy. And the guys are very good at discerning what is important to them. For women, it's a little harder. And that, my business is a women-centric business for sure, because we have barriers of, I would say, mindset barriers on what we really want to do and how we want to achieve it. And going forward with that sometimes is a little harder than we expect. So as you can see, as I'm scrolling through, you will see that there's a lot of things that you can actually ask yourself, check out, you know, think about what you want, and then fill them out. I have absolutely filled this out. Every time there's a module that we do, I take the time to fill it out and look at it. And I wish I could pull it off the wall. I probably have some of the things actually in the back of me that have it. But I do fill it out every single year, and it's really helped me discern what's important to me. So I'm going to invite you guys to do that too. Check out to see what's important to you. Focus on that. So back to the AMP membership website. Now, let's go back here. Okay, so that's basically the core session area. Resources is a little different. Resources actually has, most of them are audible, audio sort of files that you can check out, anything from previous phone calls to guided meditations. Right now, I'm not doing a lot of phone calls. I'm mostly doing Google Hangouts because I think they're really cool. But I may be doing some phone calls, or even put some webinars. I think might be a good idea. Even though the past webinars I have here might be a good place to have that as a resource, especially if you're thinking about a particular topic. I think we need to build on that. So I'm so glad I'm doing this with you. Now, this is the cool thing. If you haven't checked this out, this is the bonus content area. And this is where you can basically train yourself on how to create infographics. It's super easy. Really easy to do, and I'm going to actually put it's a February 2015 update really soon. So I will keep you guys posted on that. In fact, I'll alert you guys through email just to check it out. It's a pretty cool thing that we're doing now. So it's something that you should absolutely check out. You want to be able to create infographics to show off your brand, convey your story through photos is something that's really powerful. So community, if you push to community, it takes you right to the Facebook page here, which is pretty cool. Which is kind of cool, their own process here. It's really cool. And also, I will go ahead and do the same thing. So if I have some updates here, or we talk about the actual modules, we'll do that here. But I was really excited to talk to Barbara Stanley this past weekend. She was amazing, and I'm hoping that that podcast comes up really soon. I'll share that with you guys. So and then support. You want it is a window will populate, and you know whether you have Outlook or I just can't believe what I can't think of the application name for. I think it's called Mailboxes for Mac. An automated window for an email will pop up, and it's just subject is questions about AMP, and it goes to the customer service at Social Global Grind. So if you have any questions, you can reach us that way. Just press the button. Now on the lower right hand side, you'll see that you'll be able to go on to the iTunes page when you do this. And I was just talking about Barbara Stanley. She's going to be one of the next episodes. Episode 13 is loading up soon, and that actually features Maria Kritikos, who was actually a past member. I used to mentor her in a program called Hustle and Glow. So that'll be really exciting to listen to. She has such great energy. So let's see, going back to that, live group AMP sessions. This is where you can get future dates on when the AMP sessions are going on to. But I'm not we might be using this tab for something else sooner or later. I'm not sure. But this is where you're going to get a lot of your information. Essentially, this is going to lead back to your AMP page of Google Hangouts, but I'm not sure exactly where to go with. But any of the information that's coming forward, you can always click on here and find out more. If you want to book a one-on-one session with me, every month I dedicate hours to this program. And if you want to check in with me and talk to me about what's going on with you, go ahead and hit the one-on-one session button and book your next appointment. Q&A replays is just like what we're doing now. We're going to actually do a replay right here. So once this is aired and done, uploaded, you're going to find it right here. You'll be able to see any of the past sessions also here too. So that's kind of a cool thing. So you'll be able to scroll along and check out to see past sessions if you haven't been able to make any of them. Let's go ahead. Actually, let me go back to course sessions here. Let's check out the last 2 sessions of January 1st. Okay. Oh, okay, they're mislabeled. Goodness. Okay, we'll have to check that out. Let's go to week 3. We'll have to get one of the assistants to check out that out and relabel those. Okay, so find, train, grow your virtual system. This was the last page, or the last gross of part of the series, which is called Grow. So it's finding your virtual assistant, training your virtual assistant, and then growing them into a team. And this is where that structure is, the implementation. As you can see, there's really cool like little pop-ups here. You can actually click, and it's really an interactive sort of PDF. It's going to show you exactly what to do, how to grow them, how to schedule meetings with them, how to create your own departments, which is a really cool thing. I have created that in a free tool that I use. It's a software tool called Asana, ASANA.com, and I systemize everything that I do on there. It's a really good project management tool. You know, what's going on this week, you're able to do that, which is really great. So you can do that with them now. In fact, would probably be a good idea. Let me just load it up while we're doing that, and then we can jump back on, because it's always interesting to see how that works. While that's loading up, we're going to come back here and look at the rest of the PDF. So you can share things through Google Drive. I usually do my system pages. So if I have a systemized system of doing something, me and my project manager actually look at those sheets and, you know, from A to Z, from 1, 2, 3, literally tell people how to do something. The painstaking thing is it does take a little time, but once you start doing this and you start making your process, you know, I'm in a couple of years down the line. I don't have to do it that often, but what the cool thing is about that is that a lot of my teammates actually see how that process is being done, and they know how to apply it themselves. It was very interesting last week, as you being a new, or you know, a current AMP member, you might have noticed like every month we change our password. That's to update people, you know, from new people that are coming in, and also if there's like people that canceled their membership, they can't access that anymore. Now the cool thing is with that, if you notice, the passwords are try to be a little bit uplifting. They usually have kind of an affirmation type password, and I had to do something where I couldn't really write what those passwords were this week, and one of my team members came back. Actually, both of my team members came back automatically using positive driven words in the password, which, you know, it's part of culture. It's part of company culture. If you instill and show what you're all about, the people around you in your company are going to start picking up on that. And that's what this is all about. It's about sharing what you're driven in, what your anthem is, why. That's what this is all about. Very important in my business for me to get to another finding that I'm moving out of the previous position I had for a year, and I'm going to be doing things things a bit differently. But the year, well, 1 year plus, in this, I have been able to share my virtual assistants, and now to buy this without me even being there. I can keep them on budget. I can keep everything that they need to do, and departmentalize what they have to do, and then I can start creating what I want to, which is amazing. So it really strikes me and puts me in a place of gratitude and amazement. I didn't know that this was going to happen. That's what the cool thing was. So all of the hard work is starting to pay off in terms of really growing and finding my virtual assistant team, which is great. And I invite you to do the same exact thing. So let's just jump back on here and look at week 4. This is January. Sorry guys, they're mislabeled, but we're going to get that fixed soon. This is week 4 on January. Just last week, we went ahead with the AMP Your Blog thing, and this is all actually a part of the upgrade series that we're doing, upgrading everything in your life and business. So whether you are in a corporate position or you're an entrepreneur, these next 4 to 6 weeks are very important for you. They're actually going to help you and train you how to promote your business and also elevate you to the next step. We actually go through WordPress and Twitter and how you can work those together. So it is about inspiring blogs, putting them out there. I actually put a couple of video modules up there so you can check to see how I do things in my side of my business. I encourage planning ahead, especially when it comes to the editorial calendar. This year, we're definitely going to get into the editorial calendar a little bit more. But one of the easiest shortcuts in doing an editorial calendar is if you were to look and Google any magazine that might be in alignment with your business. So maybe you're a wellness practitioner. So maybe you just are curious to see what Dr. Oz or Dr. Hyman are going to be talking about on their website. Or if Dr. Oz has a magazine, you can actually Google editorial magazine. It will populate and come up, and you'll see from quarter to quarter, from season to season, what each magazine is going to talk about. This will help you sculpt out what you need to write about in the upcoming year. Like, the thing is that this is the thing about some of, I guess you could call it a bit of reverse engineering. So reverse engineering is when you take something and you look at it and you try to make it your own. So my thought in theory on something like looking at Dr. Oz's content, it's that it's about not stealing in verbatim and taking exactly what he's going to do, but making it into your own. These people have a marketing department, have a PR department, have a lot of information or staff, and like what I would think like it's a huge budget of doing all of this research and knowing what works and being in the publication world. They have it down, okay? So they have it down. Why not use their expertise and using that to bring exactly what you should be talking about? So there are resources out there. I'm the girl that's on the shoestring budget, and I always think about clients, and especially when we're starting out, how we can do things on a shoestring budget. The thing is, all the information is out there. You just have to break the code. And I've done years and years and years of breaking the code. One of the things big companies do is they check out their competition and do exactly what I just told you. Go to Dr. Oz, go to whoever it is that is your, in alignment with your brand. Check out what they're doing and see how that is consistent in your industry and use it to your benefit. Absolutely. They have the big budgets. You're just starting out. It's totally okay. You might hear a little screaming in the background because it sounds like, but it's a holiday here in New Zealand. So a lot of people are jumping off the tower on bungees. Easy, but anyway. So, all right, so going back onto this document here, There's another video module that will talk about editing, how I edit down my article into tweets and hashtags. It's basically getting the entire article, sticking on a Word doc, and cutting it and editing it down to that 140 character tweet. And also how I share that method with my virtual assistant, which is pretty cool. And yeah, it's a pretty good and sweet method on how we do things. So I wanted to share that with you. Hashtag is also a keyword. Now, hashtag is basically, we all know it's the conversation. The hashtag is the viewpoint of the conversation. It's the way we either title something or a feeling or the idea title. So it's also a keyword. So a lot of people, especially past, we just saw the Super Bowl, they've been using their own hashtags. So if you wanted to see what was going on and what people's thoughts were maybe in the halftime show or the game itself, you would use that hashtag and you would check out to see what other people that were watching it live. So, this is a way that you can use it for you. You can actually go into Google Keyword Tool and check out to see how you plan what your next blog is going to be about, or something that's a powerful way to do it is to just check out to see what you can use that are existing in keywords and use it to reframe it to you. So if it's a popular sort of hashtag, how can you use that to leverage it to get back your website? So think about that you can use that hashtag. Also, don't forget the bit.ly link. It's really important to see how your performance is. You want to be able to check to see if your story is clicking anywhere from 3, which is mediocre, 500 clicks a week. People are on your blog. You want to be able to do that. So that's one of the things you definitely want to be able to see, is to grab all of that information and see, kind of rate your process. So maybe people didn't really like your article about how you should finance your business, but they really liked your article on how to change your mindset about money. Here is where you can engage that and check it out. So that is the ending of January. Now we get to go on to this particular week. That PDF is loading up now. Okay, so this is about MailChimp and Graphics. This is part of the upgrade series that we were talking about. MailChimp is phenomenal. They actually have lots of great research that they've done. Again, a company that has a lot of money that's able to do the research. Well, they will actually help you schedule your next newsletter in the preferred time zone and this time period, which is pretty darn amazing. So definitely want to check that out. Check out their tutorials. I talk about it a little bit more here. We also have we were talking earlier about an upgrade or in graphics. So we talk about graphics in this particular one too. So we talk about expanding your reach in newsletters. We go over that, and also talk about the consistency in brand imaging, which is if you have a consistent image or consistent sort of logo or thought and feel around your brand, it will actually show off, and you start to have that brand identity being really connected strongly to you. So we talk a little bit more about that. It's a really cool thing, and we actually show you a video about it, which is kind of nice. Infographic update is right here too. I love the little pro tips because these are little afterthoughts I have. Your team scheduled your infographics on social media, and it's really absolutely true. In fact, let me show you what a previous client of mine is doing on Twitter. I think she's brilliant at this. I talked about her to you guys before. Kendra Richards is a celebrity makeup artist. She lives in Los Angeles. She flies all over the world. She has like the great life. But, you know, and I worked with her for the last couple of years. She has a product out there too, which is Air Atelier Ultimate Makeup Prep. It's it's essentially something that I use. I'm laughing because I have it like on my desk. I was doing makeup just before. But she really talks about her just her own experience, what she does. She's actually leading back from the images that already are existing on her blog. And this is the cool thing. She's actually putting them back or recycling them, which I think is great. I also like that she has a lot of images on her Twitter feed. Now, artists in general are driven from any sort of visual content. So I see why she would do something like this. This is from her blog. That's exactly how her blog is, and her Pinterest page. And so you'll see things that are really cool, things of our interest of her, things that are exciting to her. She's just recycling some of her older articles, which is awesome. Look at that. This is original content she's doing. This is her actual work. She was written up in Be Glowing, which is awesome. That's her product. Really cool product. She's actually launching a couple more. She talks about lifestyle stuff. That is a good friend of hers, and this is like one of the best pictures and photos. I love this. To me, this just sums up her work. Very clean and fresh looking. Look at the day in the life of her job, you know, setting up the makeup table. Just awesome. More articles from her. Fluid, just really cool. Good, there's a bit of following and more following. That's a really good margin. Yeah, just look at that. Look at that ice going on. Good thing. And the cool thing is I like looking at these because I get to see some of the work that we worked on before a couple of years ago. She's able to really show that. You know, she also is a good marketer on Instagram. So this is just one of her many websites that you can really look into. So let's see. Very good. So this is going to show you exactly the updated version of how you can use infographics into your blog and show off those same images that you use in you know, to create for your blog. You can also use those just like Kendra did to put on her Twitter feed, put on Pinterest, put on Instagram. All of those things that can, you know, elevate brand awareness around you. And we have two parts of that, which is pretty cool. And I love this. Plan ahead. If you plan ahead and make infographics with your upcoming blogs, this will help you execute your design. Also train your virtual assistant how to create designs. If you put forth a rhythm in each time you post a blog, your VA will gradually catch on and help you incorporate your infographics on social media. So true. We just talked about fluidity and that continuity that I have with my staff. When choosing images for your blog, show a story of the collection. This is more impactful. It's true. So if you have, say you're talking about, you know, what to wear, you know, mommy's on the go for spring 2015, then you're going to want to be able to show your color palette and your color story. Your images should be very, very consistent in one color palette and color story. It's going to be stronger and impactful. So you want to be able to make sure that it's not a hodgepodge of all of these different you know, photos and imagery. It should be consistent and look like a complete cohesive collection. Think like an editorial editor. Think like that. Even if you're in the wellness industry and maybe you're going to be featuring herbs you're going to be using to help you regain energy in the slow, cold months. Think of color palette. Even if it's an underlay of color, you can do that. And we show you how to do that on easily, how you can use one color palette even though the images are different. You want to show consistency in brand and color. So even if you're that, I mean, you know, good ideas to show who are the masters of that, I think, is O Magazine, because it's a wow-verse lifestyle magazine. Now, fashion and beauty and all of these other things, but if they go into the holistic path, they're going to show the story, but they're going to keep on the color palette. They're going to keep on color theory. They're going to show you how to do that. That is a really keen eye, and as an editor. So think like an editor, really. You want to be, in fact, impactful, and if you want that high-end client, you need to show that. Otherwise, there's going to be a bit of a disconnect. And they may not take you as seriously as I take you. So you want to be able to do something like that. Okay. There we go. So I take off my glasses. I don't know if they really match with what I'm wearing. They're pretty strong too right now. But I love glasses. So they fit well. But I think with the computer, it's a little too strong for the eyes. Anyway, so that is pretty much what's going on now. Let me tell you what is going on the rest of February and what we can look forward to in March, okay? So February, we're going to come back and we're going to do a couple of series that will involve you and the AMP membership site. So hopefully we'll be able to do another AMP session. If not, we're going to do one in March for you. What's coming up is that we just did the AMP Your Blog with MailChimp and Graphics. Next week, we're going to do AMP Up Your CV and Your Resume. It's part of the upgrade series. So we're going to tell you how you can stylize your CV and what is that all about and how to do that. You know, I just recently did this for a family member over the holiday, and he had... Luckily, he doesn't watch this, right? He had the resume, but the background of it was, oh goodness, it was like the bottom of the pool, you know, that kind of ripply sort of different color water bottom of the pool thing. And that was the back of his resume. And I was like, so I gently said to him, and my sister-in-law is a recruiter for a really well-known company in New Zealand. So I grabbed his resume and I just looked at her and I said, yeah, let me help you work on this a little bit. Let's look at this. And we did something. I mean, you know, every year we at the end of the year, especially, we sit around a table and we have dinner and drinks with, you know, family, friends. Always talking about, oh, you know, how next year. Always talk about, like, what can we do to change where we're at now? And sometimes it's laced with complaints, and, you know, friends and family, what we do is we kind of just let off steam and say, oh yeah, I can't stand my boss, or I don't like this job, or this corporate. For me, one of my corporations was getting so corporate. Before, it was a rebellious, cool company to work for. Now it's getting really claustrophobic and very corporate. So I knew I wanted to get out. Those things kind of come up at the end of the year when we really want to envision how we want to live, right? And the next year, we always want to be like, have a better year, essentially. So with all of those conversations, I decided to do this upgrade series. And part of it is how to amplify your CV and your resume so you can put it out there and you can check to see how to do it. I give you really cool tips on how to do it. Sometimes we forget. I mean, there's been those odd instances where you might have applied for a job, or there might be a colleague that knows somebody else that's in the industry, and you don't want that to get back to your current job. So we cover a little bit about that. You know, definitely want to make sure that anytime you're looking for a new way or a new job or a new position, you don't want to do it in the face or in the surroundings of your current employer, or if you're a contractor, you don't want to do it in that space. You want to take it out. If you're checking on emails that are important, don't do it on your computer. Do it on this, something that's not on this shared server. You want to be able to do it where it's confident. or confidential, and away from that space. And also too, it's about honoring the job that you have now. You want to be able to be known for, when you leave, what your work ethic was about, how great you worked with other people. No matter what the situation is, I mean, it could be a little rough and tough sometimes, and I've been there for sure, but you want to be able to at least leave with a reputation that you're a go-getter, that you're focused, that you were really on the cause, you were consistent with that. And then, of course, you can privately have your viewpoint away from that and not from colleagues too much. You know what I mean? So we're going to be talking about some of that stuff, and I actually wrote a really good article about that too. So that is all combined in next week. The following week, we're going to be talking about the webinar upgrade. This is really cool, because a lot of people are making a lot of good money using webinars. So we're going to be talking about that. When I actually adhere to everything and I don't push it out and do it really quick, I get a good result. So I'm going to share everything on that and how that works. And it's a bit about storytelling and a bit of prep work for sure. But the thing is that you can't, and this is always a thing with me and my clients, or just anybody that wants to launch something, don't get caught up in having it being so perfect, so on point. Now you can actually breathe and putting it and scheduling something. If you commit to scheduling your next thing, whether it's a webinar or anything like that, in 3 weeks, you will find yourself quickly catching up to those 3 weeks and scheduling yourself to those 3 weeks. It's almost like you have to plan the event, which is the deadline, and then you can work towards that. Otherwise, you're going to be in the woulda, coulda, shoulda cycle, and you're not sure if you're going to be able to launch or not. So think about that. Webinars. And then on week 4, we're going to be talking about something that's kind of innovative and cool. We're still talking about that resume, but now we're going to do something that's an attachment to that, which is your media kit. Now, media kit is something that I use for celebrity clients or companies to show what that purpose or business has to offer. Sometimes they have a media reel where they've been featured on Entertainment Tonight and all these other things. Well, you should have one too. And it's a little bit of a different spin. I mean, you've seen it on my website if you've seen more about me. I have a video talking about my career. It's very similar to that. We're going to be talking about that. I'm going to be using actually my brother-in-law's we're actually going to show mine and my brother-in-law's, just to kind of give you a feel of how that should go. It should be personalized in yours. It should be definitely an up-tempo type of experience when you're looking at it, if you're adding music, and you definitely want to be able to have a very energetic approach to what you've done. So it's actually going to put you ahead from other people, especially if you're looking at CVs. You're not going to be able to not look at that and see what the heck is a media kit. Have that HR person really impressed by your position and what you do. It actually will show your creativity and how far you're going to go in the company if you just show them right off the bat what you're made of. So we're going to be talking about that on week 4. And generally, and I will say this, in about March is about how you promote yourself and using sales cycles. Sales cycles is a really interesting way to look at it. Instead of having a sales funnel where you're trying to reach all of these people and hopefully at the end you get a few of them to drop out and buy your stuff. We're going to be talking about sales funnels and how that actually works in March. Okay, so that is it for now. We're going to go ahead and sign off for this particular one, but thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions whatsoever, go ahead and hit that support button, reply to the newsletters, and let me know specifically what you would like to work on. This is a great time to stop because someone's alarm just went off. I live in the middle of the city. It's city life, right? So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on our next AMP session.